The South Carolina Emergency Management Division recorded another earthquake this morning. This one was outside of Charleston. The U.S. Geological Survey says it was a 1.2 magnitude quake just after 3:30 a.m. in Centerville. It's just the latest quake after 5 earthquakes reported in the Midlands this week. There were 4 smaller ones after shocks near Elgin. Now, the worst one in Elgin was on Sunday, and that was a 3.4 magnitude, and people from other counties could feel the tremors. Sophie Keys-Hogue spoke with people from Kershaw County with so many quakes happening back to back.
It was a rumbling enough to wake you up from your sleep, just like this little boy in Blythewood. According to the USGS, the 3.4 magnitude quake occurred near McCaskill Creek and Whiting Way in Elgin, but could be felt all throughout the Midlands, even as far away as Charlotte, North Carolina and Augusta, Georgia. W.D. Kirkland of Elgin says he has lived in Elgin his whole entire life and has never felt this many earthquakes in the area, this event being almost the 30th in the last year.
It felt like a couple of grown men was in there shaking my bed up and down. I knew right then that we had an earthquake.
And smaller aftershocks were reported by the USGS after 1:31 a.m., and they were detected at 1:46, 1:53, and 4:45 a.m. Ashley Haig lives in Lugoff and also felt the shakes around her.
I heard a loud boom, which sounded like a loud boom of thunder, and then the whole house shook. So that was my experience of the earthquake. We just jumped up, we checked on each other in our house, and then all went back to bed, but it was a little startling at first, I won't lie.
The South Carolina DNR's map detected Sunday's earthquake roughly was 2 miles below ground, and the South Carolina Emergency Management Division says the best thing to do is drop, cover, and hold on if you feel any shaking in your area.
This earthquake had the highest magnitude out of the last year's records. The last earthquake recorded by the USGS was a 3.25 magnitude on May 9th east of Elgin and Riley. We were just talking about this, never felt an earthquake before, but some of that video there, it's hard to imagine wanting to feel that at this point.
I know, and you think of that a lot more people have got to feel these things, especially with the slightly stronger ones we've had even in Georgia last week, I think down near Metter, and that one in Elgin has just been going consistently. It seems like every week we have one up there.
But and I know Mikkel also said he felt that one. We were up at the same time at 4 in the morning, and we both didn't feel it. So it's just crazy how it varies like that.
Absolutely. I mean, once you see weekend and into our July 4th next Monday, only isolated storms instead of scattered.
Thanks, Riley. If you're trying to boost your credit, we'll show you some ways to do just that. That's next in Watching Your Wallet.
Fat incinerator ever, with key ingredients to help you get back in shape fast, absolutely free. That's GIANT 2321321.
Well, it's so emotional for Brad Hassig to talk about the day he almost drowned in his pool in Alabama, and not just because he could have died. Brad is also overwhelmed with pride because of his rescuers were his own young sons. Lauren Hassig has the story.
He said, "Your boy saved your life."
You never know if you're ever going to have to experience that.
It's an experience nobody wants to go through.
It was scary. It was really scary.
Brad Hassig swimming in his backyard pool with his 2 10-year-old boys, Bryden and Christian, and their friend, Sam Ebert.
I like to do breathing exercises. It's peaceful and relaxing. I love being underwater. I say the Lord's Prayer. When I'm doing this, it's kind of a meditation. I don't remember finishing it.
He usually sits kind of like he's meditating. I could see he was shaking a bunch, and then he just laid on his side. I told Bryden that that's not okay. Me and Sam dove into the water, and I got one shoulder and he got the other. And we just dragged him to the steps.
Brad was unresponsive, and the boys sprung into action. While Christian ran to find help, Bryden started resuscitating his dad.
I first gave him CPR a little, and then I started giving him mouth to mouth, and then he started throwing up foam and salt water and blood.
It was like I just got slammed on my side, and when I kind of came to, I'm coughing, just coughing up blood and water, struggling to breathe, and there's people everywhere. My one son was, just yelling, "Daddy, Daddy, come back."
He was rushed by ambulance to Grandview's ER, where he was admitted to the cardiac ICU. He was released 24 hours later.
I mean, it's just emotions are just overwhelming you that your boy saved your life. There's no way physically that they should have been able to do what they did. They hadn't had training to do what they did, to act as fast, to run as fast, as far, to know to flag down somebody to call 911 while the other one's doing CPR on you. I mean, it's a God thing.
The boys say that they were never taught how to save someone. They say they learned from watching movies, so an incredible story there. Well, South Carolina, the street from where it currently is, they are hiring for the new location, looking for experienced front and back of house staff. So, Riley, the question is, will the weather be good when that happens? Will we ever know?
I mean, it depends. Well, an indoor place is a good place to be when it is raining outside. We do have some decent rain chances most days this work week. Not going to see our pattern switch again until we get to next week. We'll have a look at those temperatures for you in that 7-day just after the break.
And still ahead, how firefighters in California performed a rescue mission for 2 dogs stuck in an unexpected underground home. Coming up.
The live on.
Welcome to Davis Appliance and Furniture, where you can find the best deals in town. We offer new and used appliances, and we service what we sell. We offer no credit needed financing and delivery options to meet your needs. For the top brands and lowest prices in town, visit us at Davis Appliance and Furniture.
Injured? Before you choose an attorney, here's what you should ask them. Do you live and work in Augusta? And how many cases have you won for the people in the CSRA? I'm Austin Jackson, and I'm a real Augusta lawyer. Starting with my father before me, we've been helping accident victims here for more than 40 years. We live here, we work here, and we'd be proud to be your lawyer. Injured? Call Austin Jackson, the Augusta guy, 706-724-2661.
Were you in a car wreck? At the Mike Costello Law Firm, we don't talk this way. What we have here is bifurcation. The joint tortfeasor will seek subrogation.
Huh? What's that mean?
We talk like this. Okay, so we get your bills, your records, your lost wages, send it to the other person's insurance company.
Awesome, like,
Do a little something for you.
wow, thanks, Hoss.
Neat, right? You good. You good. All right.
Mr. World knows.
You can change lives too. Join the Y.
I told my mom when I grow up I want to work at Chick-fil-A.
I posted to social media and we found it. We reached out to Brianna to bring him in to be my little buddy for the morning. He was super excited. He said yes. I think there was a happy dance. I showed him what a day in the life of a Chick-fil-A employee looks like.
Spending the day at Chick-fil-A with a dream comes true for me.
Aw, thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.
How could this grilled cheese double burger get a quiet moment? You take whatever you got.
That's right.
From the station that's on your side, News 12, First at 4 continues.
The nation is still reacting to the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, and now some businesses are too. But first, one teenager arrested for the triple murder that happened this weekend, and the Aiken County Sheriff's Office is looking for 2 men connected to the shooting. Now, this was the scene today on Wadley Drive, where deputies say they showed up to find 3 victims who were shot. The Sheriff's Office calling it a senseless act of gun violence that's resulted in the tragic loss of life. The Sheriff's Office says when they showed up, 2 of the young men were pronounced dead on the scene. The 3rd juvenile was treated at the hospital, where he later died from his injuries. The Sheriff's Office says it's a tragedy to see 2 16-year-olds and a 17-year-old involved in what they believe is gang violence. Now they've arrested 18-year-old Xavier Bailey in connection to the shooting. They're also looking for a 15-year-old and 20-year-old Alvin Artis. The Sheriff's Office says this impacts more than just the victims.
It is a true tragedy because, not only, we have victims that families that are left behind, but we also have families that are of these young men that are greatly impacted as well.
Coming up on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we're asking the Sheriff's Office what they're doing to connect with young people in the community to put a stop to this kind of gun violence. We're learning more about a shooting that happened Friday night at a Kroger in North Augusta. The incident report says officers drove to the store off of Knox Avenue at 11 p.m. and spoke to two witnesses. They say they heard what sounded like fireworks behind the building, and another witness says they saw a dark gray SUV speed away. When they walked to the back, they found an 18-year-old who'd been shot. So far, we know he's at Augusta University Medical Center for treatment. Details are limited, so if you know anything about the shooting, call the North Augusta Department of Public Safety. Much more news ahead. Thanks, Riley. We're learning today a 15-year-old month child passed away over the weekend at the Children's Hospital, Georgia, after testing positive for fentanyl and other drugs. The Athens-Clarke County Police Department says they got a call from Children's Hospital after the test results came in. Officers say the child tested positive for opiates and a tranquilizer medicine. They're asking anyone with information to call them and to speak to Detective Cook. A Paulding County mother is arrested after 3 kids died in a house fire last Friday night. Deputies say someone called 911 around 9:30 p.m. about a domestic disturbance and house fire on Woodwind Drive. Police say the mother, Pauline Brister, was trying to stab the children inside. A 9-month-old and a 3-year-old with multiple stab wounds were already dead when deputies arrived, and a 5-year-old died at the hospital from burns. 4 children did survive. Neighbors are shocked about it all.
Passing by every day, a very nice, quiet neighborhood. You know, see kids playing outside.
Brister is charged with murder, but more charges are likely to come. The Georgia Fire Marshal's office is still investigating the fire. A Subway restaurant worker is dead and another person is in the hospital after an incident over mayonnaise. Officers responded to shots fired at a gas station off of Northside Drive last night in Atlanta. The business owner says that a customer got upset when the employee put too much mayo on their sandwich and shot the 2 employees. The Atlanta Police Department is investigating. While the nation grapples with the new landscape of abortion rights, so does the